He never took supplements. He didn't run marathons. He wasn't vegan. He wasn't a biohacker. And yet, when doctors examined him at age 90, they found something shocking. No signs of dementia. No cardiovascular issues. No chronic diseases. Just stable blood pressure, clear arteries, and a brain scan that looked, remarkably, like that of someone decades younger. What was his secret? He simply slept. That's right. While others chased expensive longevity hacks, this man kept one simple ritual. Every night, he slept at the same time, for the same number of hours, in complete darkness, without interruption. And that, doctors now believe, might have been the reason he reached 90 with the vitality of someone in their 60s. Let's dive into why sleep, something we often ignore or sacrifice, might just be the most powerful medicine for a long, healthy life. Sleep. The overlooked longevity pill modern life glamorizes hustle. We praise the ones who burn the midnight oil. Sleep is for the weak, they say. But biology disagrees. In fact, sleep is when your body does its deepest healing work. Your brain clears out toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's. Biceps your muscles rebuild and grow stronger. Stethoscope your immune system recalibrates. Anatomical heart your heart rate and blood pressure normalize. DNA your DNA repair systems go into overdrive. It's like an internal maintenance shift that happens only when you're truly resting. And when that repair gets interrupted, whether by light, stress, or fragmented sleep, the damage accumulates. Not overnight, but year after year. Just like rust eating away at steel, poor sleep slowly corrodes your body from the inside. The case of the 90-year-old sleeper, the man in our story never knew about melatonin cycles, blue light, or sleep hygiene. He just followed his body's rhythm. Every night, lights out at 9:30 p.m. Curtains drawn tight. No TV in the bedroom. No alcohol late at night. No caffeine after noon. He didn't call it a sleep protocol. To him, it was just common sense. But today, science shows how powerful that simple discipline really is. According to a study published in Nature Aging, consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep in total darkness reduced the risk of cognitive decline by up to 60% in older adults. That's not just a statistic. That's a life reclaimed, memories retained, independence preserved, families unbroken. Why doctors were so shocked when they scanned his brain, they expected the usual signs: white matter lesions, thinning in the hippocampus, amyloid plaque buildup. But there was almost nothing. Instead, they saw healthy neural pathways, responsive cognition, even emotional resilience on stress tests. One neurologist reportedly said, "It's like his brain has been living in a protective cocoon." But here's the twist: he never tried to live long. He just tried to live well. And sleep was his anchor. The epidemic of sleep neglect today, over 70 million Americans suffer from chronic sleep issues. Sleep apnea, insomnia, fragmented sleep due to stress or devices. The result? A surge in chronic inflammation, higher rates of Alzheimer's and heart disease, and a generation aging faster than any before it. But what if the cure was as simple as going to bed? Not pills. Not procedures. Not pricey interventions. Just reclaiming the night. Let's rewind for a second. Why does sleep work like magic for our health? The answer lies in something called sleep architecture, the pattern of sleep cycles your brain flows through each night. Each cycle has multiple stages: light sleep, deep sleep, REM, rapid eye movement, sleep, and each stage plays a different role. ZZZ in deep sleep, your body repairs tissue, builds muscle, and boosts immune function. Brain in REM sleep, your brain consolidates memory, regulates emotion, and maintains cognitive flexibility. But here's the catch: you only enter deep in REM sleep fully when your sleep is long enough and undisturbed. If you wake up frequently, if you sleep with lights or sounds, if your bedtime shifts every night, you never reach those healing depths. And over the years, that sleep deficit adds up. It's why even people in their 40s today are showing signs of cognitive aging once reserved for their 70s. The body's night shift crew. When you sleep well, here's what happens behind the scenes. 1. Glymphatic flush. Your brain has a waste clearance system, the glymphatic system, that activates during deep sleep. It removes metabolic waste like beta amyloid, the very substance that clogs brains in Alzheimer's patients. 2. Hormone reset. Growth hormone is released mostly at night. This hormone repairs muscles, bones, and supports fat metabolism. 3. Immune training. While you sleep, your immune cells roam the body, learning to recognize threats. Sleep deprivation weakens their memory and accuracy, like a police force that can't remember the faces of criminals. 4. Heart recovery. Heart rate drops. Blood pressure stabilizes. Inflammation decreases. Sleep isn't rest. It's rebuilding. A night in the life of the 90-year-old. Let's go back to our main character, the 90-year-old man who shocked the doctors. Here's how his nights looked. He dimmed the lights by 8:30 p.m. He didn't use his phone in bed. He practiced simple breathing exercises for 5 minutes before sleep. No late meals. He finished dinner by 6 p.m. He slept in complete silence. No TV, no fan hum, no street noise. He didn't call it sleep optimization. He just lived by rhythms older than technology. And the result? At 90, he could still walk unaided. He remembered the names of all his grandchildren. He never needed blood pressure meds. His medical chart was thinner than most people half his age. Sleep and emotional health. And here's the part most people overlook. Good sleep doesn't just protect your body, it protects your mood. Have you ever felt anxious, irritable, or emotionally fragile after a poor night's sleep? That's because lack of sleep amplifies activity in the amygdala, your brain's fear center, while reducing communication with the prefrontal cortex, the part that regulates logic and restraint. In contrast, deep sleep strengthens your emotional control. It helps you stay calm, resilient, and even hopeful. That's why the 90-year-old man rarely got angry. He was calm under pressure. Even in grief, he processed pain with clarity. It wasn't just wisdom. It was rested wiring. Modern enemies of sleep. Unfortunately, most of us are sabotaging our own sleep every day. Here are the most common culprits. Cell phone blue light from phones, TVs, and tablets that suppress melatonin. Hot beverage. Caffeine too late in the day, which blocks adenosine, your body's natural sleep pressure. Wine. Alcohol, which may make you sleepy but destroys REM sleep quality. Bed. Inconsistent schedules, which confuse your circadian rhythm. Night. Stars. Nighttime light exposure, which signals your brain that it's still daytime. Even something as small as a blinking LED light on a router can disrupt your brain's sense of darkness. But if an old man, in a simple village, without fancy tools or knowledge, could live healthily to 90 by just honoring his sleep, what excuse do we have? Let's talk about the cost of bad sleep. It doesn't just make you groggy. It makes you vulnerable. Over time, sleep deprivation becomes a silent killer. It's been linked to higher risk of heart disease, increased blood sugar levels and insulin resistance, suppressed immune function, accelerated brain aging, mood disorders like anxiety and depression. One study published in The Lancet found that even a single night of poor sleep reduced attention and memory function to levels similar to those seen in mild cognitive impairment. Now imagine that, repeated every week, for decades. It's not a stretch to say, your sleep today shapes your health tomorrow. Sleep is a free health upgrade. What's truly amazing? Sleep is free. It's accessible. It doesn't require a subscription. It doesn't care how wealthy you are, or what country you live in. And yet, most of us give it away thoughtlessly, traded for Netflix binges, late-night scrolling, or stress-fueled insomnia. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can build a sleep sanctuary, a small change at a time, and transform your long-term health. How to sleep like the 90-year-old man. Let's break down his simple but powerful sleep strategy into a modern, step-by-step routine you can try tonight. 1. Set a fixed bedtime and wake time. Even on weekends, consistency locks in your circadian rhythm. 2. Wind down an hour before bed. Dim the lights. Shut off screens. Read a book. Stretch. Journal. 3. No heavy meals after 7 p.m. Digestion interferes with deep sleep. 4. Keep your room cool, dark, and silent. Ideal sleep temperature: around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18.3 degrees Celsius. 5. Use blackout curtains or a sleep mask. Even a little light can suppress melatonin. 6. Avoid alcohol and caffeine after midday. These are sleep disruptors, even if you feel fine. 7. Reserve your bed for sleep only. Don't work, scroll, or eat in bed. Let your brain associate bed equals sleep. 8. If you can't fall asleep after 20 minutes, get up and do something relaxing. Lying in bed frustrated only trains your brain to associate the bed with anxiety. The beauty of this routine? It doesn't require technology. Just awareness and commitment. Real stories, real results. You might be wondering, is this all anecdotal? Actually, no. There's a growing body of clinical evidence showing how prioritizing sleep in older adults improves not just lifespan, but health span. The years we live free of disease and full of vitality. In Japan, one of the longest living nations on Earth, elders often rise and sleep with the sun. They nap when tired, not when the clock says so. They honor rest as part of wellness, not as laziness. In Sardinia, Italy, where centenarians are common, sleep patterns align closely with natural rhythms. Screens are rare at night. So is insomnia. These are not random habits. They're woven into the culture. And the results speak for themselves. Reclaiming your own nights. You don't need to move to a mountain village. You don't need to abandon electricity. You just need to respect your biology. Your body has a clock. Your cells have rhythms. Your brain has signals. And when you tune into those signals, instead of fighting them, you unlock a kind of healing that no supplement can provide. The 90-year-old man didn't chase health. He respected rest. And in doing so, his body returned the favor for 9 full decades. Let's dig deeper into what happens when you build a lifestyle around sleep, not around stress. We live in a world of artificial stimulation, 24-hour news, emails at midnight, social media dopamine hits. We've tricked our brains into staying alert far past sundown. And we wonder why burnout is the new normal. But sleep doesn't fight back with force. It just leaves quietly. And when it does, so does your vitality. But here's the good news: you can invite it back. One small choice at a time. Your brain on sleep. Researchers have compared the effects of sleep deprivation to being drunk. After 17 hours without sleep, your mental performance mimics a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. Stay awake 24 hours? That jumps to 0.10%. Now imagine you're driving your life, career, relationships, decisions, with that kind of mental fog. That's what millions are doing every day without even realizing it. But when you sleep deeply, your brain strengthens memory pathways, processes emotional experiences, increases creativity and problem solving, enhances focus and patience. The 90-year-old man didn't meditate for hours a day. He just woke up clear-minded because his brain had time to clean up overnight. The sleep longevity link. More and more studies confirm the link between sleep and longevity. A 2023 study from the Journal of Gerontology tracked over 10,000 older adults. Those with consistent, high-quality sleep lived up to 7 years longer than those with erratic or poor sleep. But it wasn't just lifespan. They had lower rates of hypertension, stroke, type 2 diabetes, cognitive impairment. In short, better nights led to better lives. No fancy therapy. No breakthrough drug. Just something your body has always known how to do, if you let it. What sleep deprivation steals from you? Let's be real, skipping sleep might help you get through a deadline. But it robs you in more subtle, painful ways. Less emotional control, more arguments with loved ones, impaired judgment, higher stress reactivity, reduced motivation to exercise, poor food choices, you wake up foggy. You crave sugar. You snap at people. You forget why you walked into a room. And the worst part? You think it's you. Your personality. Your limits. It's not. It's your brain on no rest. You can start tonight. The 90-year-old man never had a smartwatch. He didn't use apps or supplements. He just followed the sun, the seasons, and his own fatigue. That's the elegance of nature. You can start small. Pick a bedtime, and honor it like an appointment. Dim your lights an hour before. Turn off your phone. Literally power it down. Sit with stillness. Let your nervous system know it's okay to let go. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's not laziness. That's longevity. Let's return, one last time, to the man who inspired this story. When asked what he thought made the biggest difference in his life, what helped him live so long without pain, without pills, without losing himself, he didn't talk about food, or exercise, or money. He just smiled and said, "I never let the world rob me of my rest." That one sentence is a reminder to all of us. In a time where the world demands more, maybe the real secret is doing less. Sleeping more. Resting deeper. Recharging like our lives depend on it, because they do. Sleep is the silent healer. You can eat perfectly. Exercise daily. Take every supplement on the shelf. But if you neglect sleep, your body can't repair. Your brain can't reset. Your heart can't rest. Your immunity weakens. Your aging accelerates. Sleep is the foundation beneath it all. The invitation to change. So tonight, when you feel the temptation to stay up late, to squeeze one more task in, to watch just one more episode, to scroll just 5 more minutes, remember, that trade isn't free. You're not just borrowing time, you're borrowing health from your future self. And the interest is steep. But the flip side? Just 1 week of better sleep improves mood, skin tone, energy levels, mental clarity, hormonal balance, even blood sugar, and over months, it changes your aging trajectory. Build your own sleep legacy. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be a monk. You just need to start. Start tonight. Then again tomorrow. And again the next. Until it's no longer effort, it's habit. And then, like our 90-year-old friend, it becomes your superpower. One that no one can take away. One that doesn't cost a thing. One that just might keep you vibrant and whole for decades to come. Final message: if this story inspired you, if you believe sleep is more powerful than we've been told, if you want to honor your health by reclaiming your nights, then give yourself the gift of rest. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Sleep is life. And it's time we all started living better by sleeping better. Thanks for watching.